Let me start with a truth that hits hard the moment you hear it. Our ancestors built things to last, while we build things to be replaced. You don't need to search far to see it. Modern fence posts rot in 10 years. Deck boards crack in 5. Even treated lumber can swell, warp, and give in like it was never meant to survive. But walk into a cathedral built 800 years ago and look up. Ancient beams still hold, still strong, still defying time. Step into a Viking burial site. The ship slumbered for 1,000 years, yet the wood still holds its form. They knew something. And that something wasn't magic. It was technique. Today on Wisdom from the Frontlines, we uncover the medieval wood secret that defied rot. A skill that is still usable today, whether you're building a homestead cabin, reinforcing tools, or preparing for a future where durability matters more than convenience. This isn't nostalgia, it's practicality wrapped in ancestral wisdom. Let's get into it. The truth hidden beneath the water. It sounds backward at first. We're told to keep wood dry or it rots. But medieval builders discovered the opposite. Water can be the first line of preservation. Freshly cut wood is full of sugars and saps. And those sugars are the buffet that rot, mold, insects, and fungi are waiting to devour. But if wood is submerged in water completely, oxygen disappears from the equation. Without oxygen, decay organisms can't feed. Over time, the water leaches out the sugars, draining the wood of the very nutrients that attract destruction. This wasn't theory. This was practice. The Viking ships found in burial mounds were preserved in waterlogged soil for over 1,000 years, their planks still intact. The city of Venice is literally standing on millions of wooden piles driven into seawater, which have remained solid for centuries. Medieval carpenters didn't need laboratory data to confirm it. They saw it. They filled ponds with logs. They sank beams in marshes. They carved channels in clay-lined pits and soaked timber for months or even years. When removed and dried slowly, the wood became denser, more stable, and naturally resistant to pests and decay. If you cut fresh wood today, this is still one of the best ways to season and preserve it. Sink it. Submerge it fully. Let nature strip it clean. Then dry it slowly, in shade, not sun. This is patience as technique. Now let's move above the ground. Wood that stands exposed needs defense, not paint, not varnish. Those are temporary skins. Medieval builders used fire, but not fire to destroy, fire to protect. A slow, controlled charring of the surface carbonizes the outer layer. This creates a thin shell of charcoal. Charcoal is hydrophobic, meaning it repels water. It's also useless to insects. They won't burrow through it, and fungi can't feed on it. This method still exists today under the name shusugi ban, but long before that label, medieval builders were scorching barn beams, fence posts, exterior walls, and tools. So, the process was simple. You heat the surface until it blackens, but, it doesn't burn all the way through. Then you let it cool down. After that, you just brush away the dusty soot. Finally, you seal the wood with natural oils or resins, like animal fat, beeswax, pine resin, or even boiled linseed oil. The result? Well, you get a waterproof, insect-proof, time-resistant shield. If you've ever seen those old blackened beams in countryside churches or barns, just remember, those beams aren't burned. They're armored. This isn't about aesthetics. This is engineering, plain and simple. Medieval craftspeople didn't import preservatives. They extracted them. Oak bark, loaded with tannins, made wood too bitter for insects. Pine trees bled resin that hardened like stone when melted and brushed warm into the grain. Beeswax mixed with oil seeped deep into wood, filling pores and pushing out moisture. This is chemistry born from time. Hot resin and wax penetrate. They don't sit on the surface. They bond. And once they set, they don't flake, peel, or crack like modern finishes. You can still make this today. Start by melting some beeswax. Then stir in a bit of pine resin. Add just enough oil to soften the mixture nicely. Once you've got that, brush it on while it's warm. The wood really drinks it up, becoming something nearly elemental in the process. There was another quiet detail medieval builders understood, and that was the timing. When to cut the wood mattered just as much as how to treat it. You see, trees were felled in late winter, when the sap was at its lowest and the sugars had retreated into the roots. Wood cut during that time contains less food for decay organisms right from the start. After cutting, the wood was seasoned slowly, stacked with air gaps, shaded, and carefully protected from direct sunlight. Drying was a gentle release, not a forced purge. Kiln drying came much later, and with it came warping, splitting, internal fracture. Slow wood survives, fast wood fails. This was knowledge whispered, passed hand to hand, master to apprentice, guild to guild. This isn't just history, this is self-reliance knowledge. Maybe you want to build a cabin that outlasts you. Maybe you want tool handles that don't splinter when the weather shifts. Maybe you're preparing for a future where materials aren't guaranteed. Or maybe you just want to build with the integrity and patience that once defined human craftsmanship. The medieval method isn't complex. It's time, observation, and respect for the material itself. So, let's go over the basics. Submerge, char, seal, and season. These are the core techniques, each with its own purpose and, well, unique effect. Mastering these will really elevate your cooking. Let wood become what it can be when treated like something alive, not processed, not rushed, but understood. If this kind of knowledge matters to you, knowledge that stands the test of centuries, not just trends, then you're in the right place. This is wisdom from the front lines, and we gather what the world forgot but still needs. Make sure to subscribe, share this with a friend who values real craftsmanship, and leave a comment on what ancestral skill you want next. Because the knowledge that built the past may be the key to surviving the future.